MVP, the three most coveted letters in the NBA, and the most coveted award in its history. It has the ability to define a player's legacy and make him an all-time great. Since the 1955-56 season, when the award was first given to Bob Pettit, the award has been given out every season to some of the greatest players of all time. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and many more. However, the question on everyone's mind going into next season is who will be the next person to join the great line of legends. There's a huge number of candidates who could win it, making it a very interesting year for the award. For the first time in a while, there isn't a clear number one favourite for the award. The MVP race every year is an incredibly exciting and enjoyable thing to watch play out. The Battle of the Centres last year was a great example of this. The question is though, what really makes an MVP? There are a number of factors that play into winning an MVP award. How many wins your team has, the raw stats you put up, your playstyle. However, although they all matter, the number one overriding factor in becoming an MVP is the narrative. The narrative completely dictates a player's season. For example, if it was down to strictly stats and wins, LeBron would have 7 or 8 MVPs. However, narrative and voter fatigue plays a huge role, and that leads me to my first candidate for the award next year, Nikola Jokic. The recent back-to-back MVP is in a fantastic position to make history and join Larry Bird as the only player to ever win 3 MVPs in a row. The Serb put on an absolute basketball clinic last year and had a greatly historic season. And with the return of his 2 best players in Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., as well as the addition of some great role players such as KCP, the Nuggets led by Jokic will surely check off the win category for MVP. I wouldn't be surprised if they even ended up the 1 seed. The stats will be there, without a doubt. It isn't even out of the realm of possibility for Jokic to even up his numbers, especially his assist numbers, as he will have far more weapons. He could even average a triple-double. Now onto the narrative. The narrative here for Jokic would be, look what he can do with competent teammates. However, this relies on the Nuggets being as good as they look on paper. In order to overcome voter fatigue, the Nuggets would have to be the first seed and have at least 60 wins, as well as Jokic putting up the same if not even better stats than before. I mean, if the media didn't give Bron 3 in a row, I doubt they will give Jokic it, especially considering all the slander they already give that man. It is likely that Jokic will end up being the deserving recipient of the award at the end of the year, yet won't be given it due to voter fatigue. Moving on to the next candidate, Jokic's dance partner from last year, Joel Embiid. Embiid has been the runner-up to this award twice now, in 2021 and 2022, and for that reason, I think he may be given the award. Similar to Harden receiving it in 2018 following his runner-up years, in this sense the narrative writes itself. Embiid finally wins his MVP. Similar to Jokic, I doubt stats will be an issue for Joel. He's been a runner-up 2 years in a row for a reason, and the same goes for wins. I believe the 76ers will easily be a top 3 seed, as I think Harden will look much better and more like himself. The 76ers may even win the East, especially when you take into consideration how good players like Tyrese Maxey seem to look. This gives him even more chance to win the award. Talking about Harden, he is also a candidate for me. Harden is definitely a sleeper choice, however I think he's going to thrive next season in a 1-2 punch with Embiid. He already averaged double-digit assists last season. All he needs to do is shoot slightly better and be more efficient from the jump, and he could easily compete for the MVP, perhaps even averaging a 25-point double-double. The positive narrative is also fantastic here. Harden returns to his prime after everyone counted him out and being traded twice. However, This is why I think neither him or Joel will win it. I think they will both be an all-NBA punch next season, but due to them both being great, I don't think the media will be able to give either of them the MVP. Moving on to the next candidate, Giannis Antetokounmpo. The best player in the world is gonna do what he does best, dominate, and he could very well go on to win his third MVP and maybe even his second ring next year. However, it depends how much Giannis is allowed to play. Giannis may be far more focused on coasting into the playoffs and then going all out to get that ring. As a man who clearly cares about his legacy, he may not value an award he already has won twice enough to put his body on the line for all 82 games. This may be even more the case as injuries derailed the Bucks' chance of winning a ring last year. And onto the narrative is always there for Giannis, the best player in the world, proving his worth time and time again and showing why he's an all-time great. The stats are a no-brainer as well. Giannis is good for an easy 28, 12 and 6 a night with elite defense all season long. I personally don't think he will win the award, as I'm not sure the media would be ready to give him it, especially if he doesn't improve his numbers or the Bucks aren't a runaway number 1 seed. They would have to have the best record in the league for me. However, you can never count Giannis out. Moving on to the dark horse for the award, Ja Morant. His narrative is the strongest of all the candidates. Everyone doubts the Grizzlies' ability to be a top 3 seed in the West again, and they even doubt the Grizzlies without Jaren Jackson Jr. as he will be injured until at least Christmas. Ja could easily come out the gate strong and carry this team back to a top 3 or top 4 seed, and he could very well go on to win the award. Although historically it's been very hard for point guards to win this award, Ja is the most exciting, electric player in the league. He's historically clutch, he always has highlights and big moments, and he's a real character. Love him or hate him, he gets a huge amount of media attention. And I believe the stats will be there for him, even more so than last year. He has the real ability to go and average 36 and 9 on good shooting splits, especially with more time on the ball for him this year. However, time will tell. This very well could be Jason Tatum's year. However, out of all the candidates I've named, he would have to make the biggest jump. He would have to shoot efficiently and at least average 28 in my opinion. His playmaking did look improved in the playoffs, and I would like to see that next season, along with a jump from him to make an all-defensive team, as he's always been able to have the potential to play defense at an elite level. The narrative is also absolutely there for him, especially after the whole Ime Udoka situation this offseason. Tatum and the Celtics have a lot to prove. But they made great additions in Malcolm Brogdon, and I think the Celtics could be the first seed if Tatum plays like an MVP. Moreover, after his lackluster performance in the finals, this could be Tatum's chance of revenge and redemption, and to prove to all of us that he deserves to be recognised as one of the best players in the world. Now moving on to the last candidate, and my personal favourite for the award, Luka Doncic. I feel like it's Luka's time now. After taking the league by storm since his rookie season, everyone has seen the insanely high all-time potential in Luka. It's time for him to put some hardware to it. When I look at this Mavs roster with the addition of Christian Wood and their already good defense adding JaVale McGee, they seem to be more than capable of being a top 5 seed. And that's the main thing for Luka's MVP case. The wins and seeding have to be there. The stats are a no-brainer. Luka has the genuine ability to lead the league in both points and assists, but the big reason why I have him as my favourite for the award next year is it looks like he will be in shape from day 1 of the season. In past years, he's had to play himself into shape, meaning at the beginning of the year, he can't get himself into any MVP conversations. But as we've seen from Eurobasket, Luka looks like he's in great playing shape. I really think 2023 for Luka might be what 2009 was for LeBron, and we are about to enter a new era. With that being said, let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know who you think won MVP and who I missed out on this list. Make sure to like and subscribe, and until next time, see ya.